Hello. Welcome to the 5th part of the Boundless Necromancer. A special thanks to my Patreon for supporting me. And if you want to support, you can join my Patreon for as low as $1. Thank you very much. Let's begin. At the beginning of this part we see that system says, conditions have been fulfilled and the true powers of the Heavenly Blood demonic sword have been unlocked. The item's name has been changed to the True Heavenly Blood demonic sword. The True Heavenly Blood demonic sword's rank has increased to a rank. The True Heavenly Blood demonic sword's exclusive effect blood consumption has been created. Blood consumption exclusive slot has been created. Sungyun says, blood consumption exclusive slot. System says, skill Flame Dragon Eye is activated. True Heavenly Blood demonic sword a minus. Reaction speed plus 15%. Attack speed plus 15%. A famed sword that was once one of the treasures handed down within Marim's blood demon cult. When the chosen target is killed by the Heavenly Blood demonic sword, blood consumption will absorb the opponent's blood within the blade and increase the item's overall abilities. A random skill will also be engraved into the blade. There are at most 3 skills that can be engraved by blood consumption, and outside of the cooldown time, there are no other costs. Due to the user rising to the stage of Sword Flame, the dormant abilities have been revealed. If Challenger Han Sungyun uses it, exclusive effect blood consumption can be activated. He thinks, you can engrave skills onto swords. And there's no cost other than the cooldown time. This might be a jackpot growth item that never existed before now. System says, beginning the 13th floor trial. Difficulty hard. The trial's theme is strategic battle. Time left 14 days. Trial pass condition: cooperate with your colleagues in the time left and kill the vampire count. Trail fail condition: all team members annihilated, or time running out. Trail pass rewards: random skill book a plus. Trail fail penalty: death. Sungyun thinks, a team trial. I don't have any good memories with team trails. But still, a random skill book. It feels a bit better hearing that the reward is in a plus rank. System says, revealing the 13th floor trial map. Marking the city conquered by vampires. Marking the hidden cleric in the city conquered by vampires. Marking the location of the vampire count in the city conquered by vampires. Assigning team members. Sungyun says, so annoying, having to find the cleric or whatnot. Can't we just invade the city and kill everyone as they come? He thinks I have an ability that can annihilate an entire city right now. I think it'll be possible. System says, team members have been assigned. For synchronized gameplay, your assigned team member nicknames will be indicated. Tarkovsky gets there and says, damn it, I was wondering why the system was expanding. It's because it was a team trial. Legendary Ninja gets there and says, hello, it's nice to meet you again. Clock Tower Wizard says, it's nice to meet you. Sungyun thinks, those nicknames. They're all high-ranking players. And I think I saw the Japanese man in the high ranks as well. Wizard says, but this place. I can smell the stink of blood. Is this the banquet hall of vampires? 2 vampires appear behind Wizard and says, correct. Dessert has come right to my plate. Thank you for the meal. The vampires attack them. Tarkovsky cuts the head of one of them. Legendary Ninja cuts one of the vampires down. Ninja says, I had thought you might be, but you're really Russia's largest guilds. Tarkovsky says, I hadn't thought of hiding it. Yes, I'm the head of the Carpe Diem Guild, Andrei Tarkovsky. Ninja says, that's what I thought. I'm an S-rank hunter within the Japanese Hunter Association, Mikimoto Sachio. Tarkovsky says, oh, you're even more famous than me. You're Japan's sole S-ranked hunter. Ninja says, just call me Sachio. Anyway, you're all ready to fight now, right? Vampires can sense when their friends nearby are killed, so they'll soon rush here in a group. Wizard says, you don't need to worry about that. I already set up a barrier, so they won't be able to come near here. Ninja thinks, now that shows experience. Ninja says, you. Wizard says, I'm David Taylor. I'm just a nobody wizard from the clock tower. Ninja says, oh, the one that's known as the best of the world's magic towers. Tarkovsky says, are you a great wizard that's about to retire? But being dragged here to the tower, how unlucky. David says, I think I'm lucky to do this at an old age, if anything. A mystical essence like the tower is an interesting research topic for a wizard. Sungyun says, as for me, I'm Han Sungyun, AC ranked hunter from Korea. Wizard says, I've heard something about the 13th floor trial from the admin. Even weak vampires can easily beat AC ranked hunter. And the vampire count has some of the highest class of ability even among S ranked hunters. He even has regeneration which will make him difficult to kill. So, just as the tower said, we need to save the hidden clerics throughout. And receive their help to beat this trial. Tarkov she says, there are vampires all over the city, so how shall we enter? Wizard says, it's too dangerous to just enter. Ninja says, right. It'll take too much energy. First Sachio, if you use your stealth skill to gather a small group, I'll block out our traces using a barrier. And then we can get rid of them while hunting as a party in one go. I think that's the most effective way. I agree. Sungyun is listening to them. They says, nice, okay then, if we're fast, we can beat the 13th floor in 10 days. Sungyun thinks, no, if we're that slow, we won't be able to receive the additional pass rewards. Sungyun says, everyone, I think you might be mistaken about something. But beating this trail like that won't be effective. Wizard says, won't be effective. Then do you have a better method? Sungyun smiles and says, of course I do. A method with the most efficiency. Wizard is surprised and says, ho, and what is that method? Tarkov she says, I'm curious too. To think there's a more effective method than this one that everyone agrees with. Ninja says, wow, like a challenger of the world ranks 1, do you have your own secret to clearing trails? Sungyun says, street fuak. Ninja says, shut up, and what? Wizard says, what did you just say? Sungyun brings out his sword. And cuts the wall behind them. Throws the wall. There are hundreds of thousands of vampires outside. Sungyun says, we can clear this trail if we just shut up and charge, let's wipe them already. Vampires are really angry and says, human. Where did the humans come from? All the vampires gets ready to fight and says, I don't care about that, let's just enjoy this meal. Fresh blood. Other 3 hunters are really surprised and says, hey, you crazy. Do you want to die? Sungyun says, then let's begin the Saint Fuak plan. Vampires jumps toward them. A vampire attacks Sungyun, he disappears. Vampire says, he disappeared. Be careful. These humans are using magic. Tarkov she says, Wizard says, it'll be difficult to maintain group stealth for a long time. Wizard gets angry and says, why is there always a crazy human, who wants to throw everything whenever I do a team trial? It truly pisses me off. They says, it's unfortunate, but it might be best to rule out Han Sungyun and just retreat for now. Sungyun uses blood attacks. He says, do you also have a basic setting of a blood domination ability, like Truth Seeker of Blood? Vampire attacks them and says, become a delicious meal, human. Ninja thinks, why did he make such a reckless decision? Ninja says, everyone look over there. Sungyun uses Truth Seeker of Blood is activated. Vampire says, blood manipulation. If he can use blood manipulation, isn't he one of us? His blood domination ability is stronger than ours. This makes no sense. Sungyun kills a lot of vampires with a single attack. Vampires says, damn it, it's a monster. We need to call the Sioux. They are really surprised and thinks, when facing such an overwhelmingly strong enemy, it makes sense to move with a plan. There's no way that such a brutish method should work. So how is it that I'm just weak? Sungyun says, David Taylor was a high-level fighting mage, who had fought on the front lines for a long time. He was also a clever person. Even at the Tower of Trials, using his outstanding strategy, he always got good results, and was able to complete the floor trials and become a high-ranked challenger. As always, for the 13th floor trial, he was able to present a clear invasion strategy with his cleverness. There was no strategy more effective than this. However, strategy is something that needs to be done first to solve a problem. Sungyun says, we can clear this trail if we just shut up and charge. Let's whip them already. Sungyun is killing a lot of vampires. Tarkov she says, at this point, let's forget the plan, it'll be best to just support Han Sungyun, right? Ninja says, I agree. Wizard says, wait, I acknowledge that Han Sungyun is ridiculously strong. However, the vampires are the size of a city. One single human cannot handle this. Sungyun is surrounded by a lot of vampires. They say, while there were many monster-like strong hunters before the appearance of the tower. Why did party hunting develop and become widespread? Because no matter how strong you were in a melee situation, to be able to face the many variables is impossible alone, right? Sungyun is fighting. They grab Sungyun's both hands. Vampires are about to cut Sungyun. Sungyun says, "Hugh." Sungyun blow up his arms. Vampire goes flying. Sungyun uses ashen blood to heal his arms. Sungyun thinks, but if I keep using this method, I have to keep using restoration items. Body explosion is a good skill, but costs a lot of money. Vampires get scared and says, "How can a mere human interfere with the authority that the god of battle has bestowed upon us?" One of them gets really scared and says, "Disciple." They says, "What? Disciple? Isa a disciple? The god that protects humans has sent a disciple. The god are angry that we killed all of the humans of this city. God of battle, please bestow your believers with thy salvation." Sungyun thinks, a disciple of a god. Is it your species, specialty to have delusions as you wish? Vampire says, "Weak bastard. Look carefully. He's breathing heavily. The human has grown weary." Vampire says, "It's now. Attack." Sungyun make a really big blood ball at his hand. Vampire says, "What's that?" Sungyun says, "This." Sungyun eats the blood balls. He says, "Your comrades." System says, "Using the spirits of vampires, you have recovered your stamina. Using the spirits of vampires, you have recovered your mana." Sungyun gets really excited and says, "Recovery complete. Let's start round 2. All the vampires gets really scared. Sungyun starts to kill them. Ninja and the others are watching him fight. Ninja says, "Wow, he's not ranked 1 in the world for nothing." It almost makes it seem like melee is his specialty. Tarkovsky says, "I agree. He's not tired, and if anything, he seems to be getting even stronger. I'll go and help." Ninja says, "Although I believe in safety first. I, too, want to help Han." Sungyun, using all of the retained spirits to supplement stamina. Strength has increased by 3. Agility has increased by 2. Stamina has increased by 4. Magic power has increased by 5. Sungyun thinks, "Wow, if you simply compare the scope of growth, it's even better than when I absorbed the replica's spirit." Sungyun says, "And once I kill the vampire count, this trial will be pretty good. Administrator, the sole ruler of the deep sea, is showing interest in you. Administration leader of the traders is having a lot of fun thanks to you, and is cackling. Administrator Dark Demon is saying that you are a challenger who is more like a demon than a demon, and their body has begun shaking as if frightened. Administrator, Dragon Slayer born after 1,000 years is smiling at you excellent and says that you have heroic qualities. Administrator Fallen Heir of the Blood Demon Cult, is sending a shock-filled compliment about your magic power use. Administrator Fallen World Soldier says that you have quite the investment value, and has a very satisfied smile on his face. Sungyun thinks, "Nice, the admins are still getting baited. There's nothing to lose from gaining a good impression of an admin." Sungyun says, "I thought you went to find the clerics." Wizard says, "We apologize, from now on, we'll follow your opinion, so give us the orders." Ninja says, "I agree." Tarkovsky says, "Honestly, I was suspicious of your judgment, but that was foolish of me." Sungyun says, "So all of you understand the effectiveness of Saint Fuak." Sungyun uses skill Sixth Sense activated. A really big wave of blood appears there. Sungyun says, "The vampire count." Tarkovsky says, "Great magic. The vampire count can even use great magic." Wizard says, "That's probably just a species trait. However, the problem is that he's strong enough to do something reminiscent of great magic." Ninja says, "So what should we do? At this rate, it's only a matter of time before we all die." Sungyun says, "Hunters that I once admired now seem to be those who I must protect. To think I have grown to this point already." Sungyun says, "Everyone, please get away from this place, and find the clerics and burying them here." Ninja says, "Pardon, the clerics? I thought there was no point to do that any." Sungyun says, "I'll be frank. If you're here, I think you'll get in the way of our battle. There is the fact that I can't protect all 3 of them. But I need to hunt the vampire count alone to absorb his spirit. The higher the level of contribution from others, the more likely I'll be unable to absorb the spirit." Tarkovsky says, "We'll follow your order." Even though I feel uncomfortable since it's been a while since I was just luggage. Wizard says, we'll bring the clerics, so wait. Sungyun gets ready and says, then, shall we get started? System says, skill fighting concentration activated. User's concentration has increased by 5x. Authority heavenly blood cultivation art activated. Skill truth seeker of blood activated strongly. Will interfere with all blood domination abilities within the scope of the skills area. Vampire count says, how dare a pathetic human resist against me? I tried to maintain the base of this city in order to use it. But I'll turn it all into hell. Sungyun thinks, the scale is way bigger than I expected. Sungyun says, I don't think I'll be able to block this. After that we see that a really big vampire. And normal vampires are feeding him. It is Cell Nair vampire count. Cell says, I don't know when it began. I just fought and fought. Higher. And higher. Fighting itself had become my life. As it often did for those who had thirst. When I finally came to my senses, I was standing atop countless corpses. And eventually, my thirst reached the sky. System says, the god of battle has chosen Cell Nair as a prospective disciple. The greatest wish of our species was to destroy the humans' impregnable 4 great allied nations. We killed countless humans and destroyed 3 of the nations. To the point that the root of the 4 great allied nations, the fountain of life, had become red with blood. And if we completely conquer this final nation, I can be acknowledged by the god of battle as a true disciple. And reach the peak, by becoming king of the vampires. Vampire says, Count, there's trouble. Your forces are being murdered, no massacred by a human. They bring a really big mirror. They says, what are you? I'm sure I took care of anyone who asserted that they were a warrior. Which nation sent these bastards? A vampire says, they just suddenly appeared. Count says, suddenly. My precious forces were suddenly massacred. How does that make sense? Those useless bastards. How does it make sense that they suddenly plopped into the middle of the city, avoiding all of those eyes? Count, please calm down. Count says, I just need to perfectly conquer this city to be acknowledged as a true disciple. He messed everything up. How dare he? A mere pathetic human. I tried to maintain the base of this city in order to use it. But I'll turn it all into hell. Sungyun says, the scale is way bigger than I expected. I don't think I'll be able to block this. Sungyun starts to run. He thinks, I should forget the city and save my party members. Over there, Sungyun uses counter shield. He thinks just a bit more. His shield breaks. Sungyun is laying on the ground. They comes running toward him and says, Han Sungyun, are you okay? Sungyun says, how are you all? Wizard says, we're all okay. Ninja says, we're okay thanks to you taking the brunt of the attack up front. I thought we were going to die for a second. Count appears in front of them. Count thinks, surprising, to think they survived that attack. So it was no coincidence that they were able to massacre my kin. One naive weak-bodied person and those 3 standing perfectly fine must be the main members. Count brings out a sword. And think insect-like human bastards. I'll rip you to shreds. Sungyun says, everyone step back. I'll face him myself. Tarkovsky says, then, we'll step back for a bit, so, if you need us, call us. Count says, with whose permission? I will not let you go. Count goes flying really fast and thinks, I think something just went B. He sees Sungyun and thinks, that who had been stuck. When? Sungyun sighs, have you heard of the term be careful what you wish for? I'll return all the words you said as you said them. Count says, crazy human bastard, how dare you act like some cool Vari. Sungyun says, first, I'll rip you to shreds. Sungyun throws the Count on the ground and says, everyone, please hurry and find the clerics. Ninja says, you killed the vampire Count, so is there a need for that? Sungyun says, doesn't something seem strange? The 13th floor trials conclusion message should have popped up. The fact that it hasn't. Sungyun uses skill Flame Dragon Eye. System says, Vampire Count Cell Nair's body fragments with the authority of regeneration, he is currently recovering his body. Tarkovsky says, no, so he can regenerate in that state as well. That's so absurd. Ninja says, the city's in ruins, so the clerics must be dead. How about we just join the battle as well? Sungyun says, no, I'll block the vampire Count, so whether it's the clerics or some holy relics, please, go find something and bring it. Sungyun thinks, I'm sorry, but I need to kill the boss myself. Wizard says, if you go so far as to say that. Understood. Exploring is my expertise, so I'll do my best. Count starts to heal. Count is really angry and says, human bastard, how dare you? How dare you do that to me? He thinks, his regeneration truly is unbelievable. The recovery skill and blood domination skills he has are definitely higher in efficiency than the one I have. But when it comes to combatability, I'm much more superior. Count starts to attack and Sungyun easily dodges the attack. Count says, rat-like bastard. Count uses a really strong blood attack. Sungyun tries to dodges the attack. But Count's attack follows him. Count gets really excited and says, how is it human? I am one step higher than you in blood manipulation. Sungyun smiles and says, yup, I acknowledge that. Thanks to you, I learned an application skill. Sungyun cuts Count into tiny pieces. Sungyun thinks, I cut him more thinly than last time, but he's still regenerating, this is actually giving me goosebumps. Sungyun thinks, no way. What if in this trial, it's actually impossible to kill him without a cleric? If the city is in this state, it would be even weirder for a cleric to have survived. Count is perfectly fine ready to attack Sungyun. And Sungyun is also ready to fight. Sungyun thinks this is so annoying. The 5th part of the Boundless Necromancer ends here. Please subscribe and like, and if you want me support financially you can join my Patreon only for $1. Patreon and Discord links are in the description if you want support me. And a special thanks to all my Patreons for supporting me.